Okay, picking up where we left off, we're talking about assignment rules and how it would be a really, really, really good idea to read every single word in the assignment. Yes, every single word. Typically what you're going to do, and we'll demonstrate this in an upcoming video, you'll write your Java application and then just copy and paste it into a Word document and submit the Word doc. You're not actually going to be sending me an application. You're going to be sending me just the source code that's been copied into Microsoft Word. Okay, now I have a standard file naming convention because what happens is I take your stuff out of Canvas and I copy it to my machine, and I'm teaching several courses, and so it wouldn't be kind of neat if they all kind of lined up, okay? So here's the way that the file naming convention works. It's going to be, the CIS3332, and then a space, and then like assignment 1, and then a space, and then your last name dot first name, and then the file name extension, which has probably been added by the machine. So how many spaces is that? What is that? 4? 18? 1? No, it's 2. 2 in exactly 2 spaces. Nod your head. How many spaces in the file naming convention? 2. Okay, good, good. And I'm only going to be submitting things in Canvas. We're not going to be sending paper anywhere. We're not killing any trees. And the cool thing about this is you send me an assignment, I'm going to scribble on it and then allow you an opportunity to fix it to get a better grade. So yes, you are allowed, even after I've graded your paper, you're allowed to go back and say, oh, let me redo that, okay, in order to get a better grade. Woohoo! And there's no group assignments or anything, so we're just going to be doing our own thing. Okay, so every week I'm going to ask you 4 questions in what's called a journal assignment. And the journal assignments are not tough, okay? Some of these questions are going to be like, okay, for example, in chapter 1. One of the questions is, what is the name of the project that I used during the demo? Okay? I mean, there's no intellectual thought here, right? I'm not asking you tough questions. I'm asking you questions so that I can verify that you actually watched the video. That's the point for these journals, is did you watch the videos, okay? Now, it would make a lot of sense to print out the questions and have them in your hand while you're watching the videos. Because otherwise you'll watch the entire thing, right? Let's just say it's 2 hours long, which is kind of an outlier, but let's just say 2 hours worth of videos, and then you look at the lecture notes and goes, well, what was the name of the file that was created during this demo? And you go, oh, heck, I don't know. I have to go watch it again. Well, have the notes in your hand while you're watching the video, and then when you get to that point, you go, oh, there it is. The answer is 12. Okay, it kind of makes sense. So have the questions in your hand while you're watching the videos. Okay. Journals are about 85% of your participation score. So yeah, they're kind of sort of simple. Okay, so here's how the grading rubric. So when you turn something in, the first one is, did you meet the requirement? Can you read and follow instructions? That's what the first one is. I know that sounds silly, and I really shouldn't be saying that, in regard to, college kids, but for goodness sakes, can you read and follow instructions? Can you read every single word and follow instructions? That's 15% of the grade. The huge chunk of it, 30%, is did you learn what it is you were supposed to have learned? Can you demonstrate to me the things you were supposed to have learned? For example, if we're in chapter 3, when we're doing branching, well then, can you show me that you learned what you were supposed to have learned? That's a huge chunk. It's 30%. Now, does it run? Does it compile? Does it work? That's 25%. Is it readable and organized? Okay, I do want things to kind of be organized, because good programmers have an organized mind. And I'm not necessarily saying that you're a programmer. I'm just saying you're going to have to adopt some of that thinking. Comments, yes. 10% of the grade is on, did you use the comments like the way we described in lecture? And then is it the most efficient? 5% for something like that. Okay, so the whole point of these assignments isn't to frame them and put them on the wall. It's just tell me that you understand and you can apply the things that you learned. That's the point of these assignments. Okay, good. So everything is due 11:59 on Friday. I typically start grading the next morning. So typically by noon, depending on how many classes I'm teaching this semester, you should be able to get your feedback by then. Now there's a 5-point penalty per day if you're late. So for example, you submit something that's perfect, 100%, but it's 4 days late. So 4 times 5 is 20, therefore the most you're going to get is an 80 because it's 4 days late, right? And if you're pretty good at math, you can figure out that after 20 days, 20 times 5 is 100, then you can't get any score at all, right? Okay, good. Now, I mentioned that you can submit an application let's say you submitted on Friday. I graded on Saturday, and then you read the notes that I sent you, and you go, ooh, I completely missed that. Thank you for pointing it out. Let me just redo that again. And you can just resubmit. But you're resubmitting it on Saturday now, right? Which is 1 day from when it was due. So therefore, the most you can make on a resubmission would be a 95. Are you following the math here? Okay? And I don't do any fractions. I look at the date. I don't care about the timestamp. If it's due on the 14th and the date shows 15, that's 1 day late. I mean, it could be like 2 or 3 minutes past midnight. That's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at, it says it's due on the 14th and you submitted it on the 15th. That's 1 day late. Okay. So here's my grading history. Okay. And the reason I show this is just to give you a feel for what kind of a professor that I am. Most people make a B in my courses. So I'm not like an easy A kind of person where everyone makes an A, and I'm not, a tough old guy where, half people flunk. Basically, it kind of fits a bell curve. B is about what most people make. I kind of discount the F's over there in the column on the right-hand side because those are people who just abandon the course. They just don't turn anything in, and so you don't really have much choice but to give them an F for the course. Okay, I mentioned that I'm really, really keen on feedback, right? I scribble on your document and send it back to you, and then you can give it back, and we can go through this. I mean, I had one student, just last semester, who went through, assignments like 5 or 6 times in a period of a couple of days, and it's perfectly okay. In fact, I kind of admire that because it tells me that they got the gumption, how's that for a good word? The gumption to do well in a course and to continue. As long as you're learning, I'm happy. So how do you read the feedback? Well, here's some things you ought to be looking out for. All right, here, first one is you have to read the grading feedback. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have personal notes using the gradebook feature of Canvas, okay? And I've been known to throw in some little Easter egg comments in there, something along the lines of, if you send me a Canvas email by midnight tonight with the following code in it, then I'm going to give you 5 extra points on the next quiz. You think maybe I'm serious about you reading the feedback? Yeah, I'm really serious about you reading feedback. So in addition to your personal feedback that only you can see, I also have a discussion forum which talks about the how the overall core class did, and this provides you some context. I mean, for example, you might make, you made an 85 on this thing, and you go, oh, I thought I did better than that. But the average score was a 75, and you go, oh, well, okay, it's not just me. So it provides you some context on what other people were having troubles with, okay? Now, watch your email immediately after grading, which would be somewhere around, after lunch on Saturday, typically. Because here's something that's happened several times. It happens about once a semester. Is, you're taking like 2 or 3 courses, and, I'm time for me to grade assignment 4. And so I pull up your assignment 4, and it's something from your history class. And I'll look at it and go, what the heck is this? And so I have no choice but to grade it as a 0, and then send you a Canvas email that says, hey man, I don't know what the heck this is, but this is certainly not assignment 4 for this class. It looks like assignment 4 for some other class. And here's the bad part about this is you probably did the assignment, but you just submitted the wrong one. So, oh, well, I'm on a fishing trip, it's the weekend. And so, I'm not going to read my email until I get back on Monday. That would be a really, really bad idea. Because what that means is, okay, you didn't read your email on Saturday or Sunday, and then Monday, so you're going to be 3 days late because you didn't read your email immediately after grading. Okay, just saying. And don't plagiarize or cheat, because that'll really annoy me. So how do you read feedback? So you're typically going to be submitting a Word document. And so Canvas has this thing called a document viewer. So when you bring up your assignment, you can actually see the document. There's a little link at the very top on the right-hand side that says View Feedback. You have to click on that link to be able to see the comments that I've left for you. Okay? One more time. You have to click on the View Feedback link to be able to see the comments. If you don't click on that, you will not see the comments, and you'll go, I wonder why he gave me an 85. Well, wonder no more. Click on the dang link and find out why I gave you an 85. Okay, your final submission for the course, which is going to be your term project, is probably going to be a zip file, and so I'll send you your comments probably in an attachment or something. But for the most part, it's going to be inside your document. Here's what this thing looks like. So if I'm viewing feedback inside so here's assignment 1. And so the professor says, that's a good start. I recommend you redo and resubmit. I go, and that's it? You know, I made an 85 and all it says is that's good. I recommend you redo and submit. You have to click on the View Feedback button in order to be able to see the comments that I put in there, okay? If you don't click on that button, you'll be just a complete mystery to you why you got an 85. Okay. So let's a little bit about me. Hi, I'm Emmett Gray. I'm going to be your professor. I retired from civil service, and I'm a software author programmer. I kind of do this for a hobby. I've been programming for, I don't know, 30-something years. So programming is kind of what I do. When I'm bored and don't have anything to do, I write an application. I have strange educational background. I have degrees in mathematics and engineering plus computers, but I'm not a PhD, so don't call me Dr. Gray. And I got a gazillion CompTIA and Microsoft certifications that you're probably not interested in. I'm what's called an adjunct professor, which means I work part-time. I have an office, but quite frankly, this semester I probably won't be spending too much time there. But when it comes time to getting a hold of me, my office is room 323Q in Founders Hall. I don't have a phone in my office, but the COBA, College of Business Administration, admin phone number is listed there. Please get a hold of me via Canvas. I prefer Canvas over phone calls a lot. And then I don't really have office hours established. We either do it by WebEx or we can do it by appointment. Okay, so that's enough about me. So the next thing I'm going to ask you, remember the journal thing? On the very first journal, I'm going to ask you, where are you on this scale of 1 to 10? So, a 1 would be, oh my God, I can't believe I signed up for this course. I really made a horrible mistake. I am so completely lost. A 10 would be, look, I've been doing Java programming for 15 years. I could teach this class with my eyes closed. Most people, of course, are going to be somewhere in between, like, I've got the prerequisites. Maybe a few of you saying, well, I already know a little bit about Java. I've been doing a little bit. Okay, so that is the end of this little presentation. And so the next part of this is going to be just kind of a tour of Canvas to show you where everything is. Okay. All right, so here's the Canvas course. All right, so let's just go down the list. I don't have any announcements right this very second, so, nothing there. Assignments is everything that's due. Now, you're looking at it from my teacher's view, so you're not going to be able to see all these. I get to see everything, right? You only get to see those things that are appropriate to you. So here's the syllabus quiz and all the journals, and here's all the assignments and all the quizzes and the term project and the exams. Okay, once again, we're coming up on the 15-minute mark, so you guys have kind of figured out how this works, right? We're going to stop the video and then start up another one in just a minute.